Yeah, what's poppin', guys? Sizzle here. I'm now Celestial 3, ranked higher than 98.73% of players server wide. That's pretty cool. Uh, I have no idea why someone's talking in team chat after we won the game, but whatever. Either way, getting from Grandmaster to Celestial, a bit of a different journey than the whole way from Bronze to Grandmaster. Honestly, Bronze to GM was really easy. I got there by level 24, I think. And I went up a whole 6 levels while getting up to Celestial. Maybe not entirely from that grind, because I did do some quick play in between. But yeah, now I am Celestial. You can see, right, this is the total time played. We get a competitive. We got 14 hours this season, basically 40 and 70. Right, so net positive, what, 30 wins? Or no, 10 wins. I was doing some wrong math there, but net positive 10 wins to go from Grandmaster 3 Celestial. And then Grandmaster 3 here competitive, we went 70 and 40 effectively, which is a net positive 30. So net positive 40 wins to get from Bronze all the way to Celestial. That's what the match history looks like. It's not the full thing. I did make a video though, which shows off the rest of the matches not shown here, where I said don't duo in this game, because whenever you duo queue or queue with literally anyone, your games get exponentially harder. It's not something I realized early on. I would find random people and then just play games with them for fun, like people in game, right? It wasn't all completely solo queue, but it was solo queue, meet people randomly in games, add them, do a queue with them, win some more. And the only reason we were winning so much is because I was way better than obviously like the gold or diamond lobbies or whatever that we were playing in. But when I tried playing with my friends in Grandmaster 3, we just could not win. It was impossible. And then I solo queued, and basically I think I started here for the solo queue or something. Like literally the second to last game on the match history. And you can see lots of back and forth, but it's a lot more winnable solo queue. And I was slowly climbing up and up. Right? Grandmaster 3, 2, 1, and 1 for quite a while. I was the longest stunt, like the stretch, something like that. Longest amount of time on any rank was in Grandmaster 1, and then I hit Celestial with this game right here. We'll watch the replay of it soon. I'll give like a nice overview, but before we go over that, I want to mention the rest of the match history that isn't included in the other videos of this series, which is like I hit Diamond in 4 days, I hit Grandmaster in 5, and then now I hit Celestial after a few more days of grinding. The rest of that is in. I made a video saying don't do a queue, like I mentioned just 5 seconds ago. That has the rest of the match history for anyone curious about seeing all of that. But yeah, before we go over the actual ranked up game itself, let me show off the hours I played in comp this season. You can see most of them were on Hulk. If they didn't ban Hulk, I played Hulk. I understand the win rate isn't super great here, but that's because I tried to force him a lot of the time where he wouldn't work. I'd say realistically, the actual games played on Hulk, where I like used him the whole way through and didn't just use him for like one round and then was like, wait, like, yeah, it's not gonna work solo tank. It was probably closer to 15 and 5, right? So rather than 15 and 9, which is the current record here, which isn't bad, mind you, but my Hulk is fucking cracked. I mean, there's a reason they ban it every game. I'm the reason. It's not that Hulk's broken and the strange team up is insane. It's because I am him on Hulk. Um, but yeah, most played beyond that, though, it's just Magneto. A lot of time solo tanking. He's also solid in duo tank. It's just like, there's never a bad time to be playing Magneto. He works really well with pretty much every comp. The only downside is he doesn't really have any team ups other than Scarlet Witch, which is some character that like no one should ever play. You could see 10 and 16 on him. I played a bit of the Thing right away when I was trying to do my initial rank ups just because he's fun. I don't think he's broken. I don't think he's super good either. He requires a very specific team synergies to actually work, but a lot of people are willing to swap, so we made it work. Punisher, my go-to DPS if we need a DPS. I mean, I played him if we needed one. At some points I played Squirrel Girl. The win rate's pretty bad, but that's because most of the time my picker is when we're really just completely getting smoked and I need something to change. And honestly, of the 4 matches played, I understand 3 of them were losses, but 2 of them were almost reversed after I picked Squirrel Girl, because my Squirrel Girl put in some fucking work, man. I don't remember playing Strange. It must have been really on. Groot is, if they got like a really good Groot with some solid support, the only way to really beat him is to join him and do the Groot mirror. And that's exactly what I did. And it went crazy, it went good. Yeah, Winter Soldier. I mean, I picked him once or twice. I don't remember the context. Thor, I pick specifically when it makes sense. I go Wolverine if we're running double tank and he's not dying enough, and then I mirror him, which was one game in the whole stint of Grandmaster Celestial, because he was banned pretty much every game. So, you know, that's a thing, and then I don't remember most of these other characters, to be honest with you, like, in any context. But yeah, with all that yapping out of the way, I'll look at the stats. I guess I can also show off the hero proficiency and all the characters. Right, so this is my main, this is the Hulk. My go-to for all of this. We're getting pretty close to Centurion, nowhere near Lord. I mean, whenever I saw a Lord in any of my games, even when I was right under Celestial, when I saw someone was Lord on a character, that was a bad sign, because that meant they were hard stuck. that's what that made me realize, because, I mean, I'm not even Lord on Hulk yet, and I got to Celestial playing primarily Hulk both seasons. Right, we could go look at my last season stats. But this season stats, all Hulk, last season stats, even more Hulk, and I'm still not Lord on him. But yeah, with that all out of the way, all that yapping out of the way, the proficiency, all that, let's go watch the game that got me Celestial. I'll be watching most of it at 2x speed, because to be honest, Matchmaker definitely smiled on me in this match. Not my finest game of tank I've ever played. Not a bad game, mind you. I obviously had some slip-ups, but on the whole, yeah. That's kind of how it be. Let's go get to 2x speed. You can see in the pregame lobby, I don't even really bother picking Hulk most of the time, because the odds that someone is willing to go Strange, which, from my experience, you can play Hulk with a Strange, with a Magneto, and with a Groot, just kind of any main tank that has like shielding capabilities, because you need something on Hulk where you can jump back to, right? Because the way that Hulk works, you jump in, get damage in a bunch, you get them all to look at you, your DPS kills something while you're in there, and then you jump back out, and you live, your DPS got a kill, and then you get healed back up, and rinse and repeat, and then your Magneto or your Strange or whatever just holds down main. The reason I say Strange, generally, is because he gets that team up, which makes him have that, basically that one-shot E, for lack of better ways to describe it. But yeah, I'm going to be playing this at 2x speed. I understand that might be a bit disorienting to people, but it's a long game, and realistically, up until the end, where I will slow things down, there wasn't much to commentate on, outside of the normal, I guess. But yeah, we were solo tank here. Whenever I'm solo tank, I'm just on Magneto. Like, literally, that's just the go-to. Love how the audio is completely messed up in the replay. But yeah, we basically just sat in main, spammed out their supports, maybe 2x a little bit fast. I'll do 1.2. You can see we're just spamming out. Right, this is in real time. Just consistently spamming out their supports, walking forward as long as I'm not taking damage. And I noticed the whole way through, I was not taking any damage, so I just kind of kept walking forward. And took a little bit of damage there, but not enough to make me back up any further than this. Right, we're just taking space repeatedly. Notice how I'm not shooting at their tank, but I'm shooting past him. Occasionally, I'll just like randomly melee swipe him or do chip damage, just kind of just random. But for the most part, 99% of the time, my entire goal is to just shoot their supports and do nothing but. And when the tank is low, you can kill them. But yeah. My aim still isn't amazing, as you can see right there, because it just doesn't have to be. A very common thing I see with people in lower elos is they overvalue aim and like everything like that, when realistically what matters is using your abilities correctly and positioning. They matter so much more than aim, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I got to GM with aim like that. I understand a lot of it was on Hulk, he doesn't necessarily need all that aim, but he needs some for his right clicks and E's and stuff. Even though most of the stuff is really easy to hit and has really big hitboxes. But yeah, another big thing in this game is we had a lot of comms, right? So right here, crazy play happened. I do remember this. Their Widow, who was really cracked, had this. I mean, I don't even know what she shot. I don't think she knows either. But she put in some crazy work this game. We were constantly calming this game, and almost all of it was about this Widow. And if you ever see this, bro, you know you're cracked. I know you're cracked, the enemy team knows you're cracked, nobody ever was typing that in chat. Man, we spent this whole game talking about this Widow. But yeah, right here, we had a really hard comms. We called this Punisher up here, we noticed him setting up turret, someone said Punisher setting up turret up top, and just look at how quickly we shuttered that. Shit was crazy. Bubbled my Storm there, and then went to go create pressure in the front so that, like, you know, the enemy team couldn't follow up with that. I tried a mag ult there, it was a bit late and a bit hard to hit, so I whiffed it unfortunately. But it also doesn't matter. Something definitely worth mentioning is a lot of people overvalue the value of a mag ult, or any ult for that matter. I will say, support ults definitely matter a lot. That's definitely something you don't really want to mess up. A support ult will keep your entire team alive for like 10 seconds, or if it's like a rocket ult, can be the reason the entire enemy team dies in 10 seconds. So messing those up matters a lot. A lot of DPS ults can pretty consistently get at least 3 kills, and 3 kills is more than enough to win a fight. So those ones you want to be very careful with. But most tank ults, right, so like the Thing ults, Magneto ult, right, Hulk ults, things like that, oftentimes they max out at 1 kill total. So it's kind of fine to just spam them out whenever you get them and not, worry about it too much. But right here, you notice I went really far forward. That's because I knew my team would kill the Strange that I left behind. I mean, they were all up, and it was like a 1v5 with the Strange. So rather than just get free-fired on by that Punisher, I just walked on him. I mean, he wasn't going to get any heals. I had all my cooldowns up, all my bubbles, all my shields, things like that. And we just destroyed him. Kind of similar thing here. We call out stuff. We didn't really call anything out here until a second from now, where Punisher sets up turret again. You can see he goes for the turret right here. We called it out, and just look at how quick this gets molten. I mean, this did not happen the whole way up, but in this game in particular, and especially toward the upper end of GM1, people finally started using their mics and calling shit like that, and it's so super cool to watch things like actually die. You can see right there. You can see right there that ult was another attempt at stopping the Cloak and Dagger, which didn't exactly work good because she went into that room, which was very unfortunate. But, doesn't matter too much. Nobody even ever claimed on my team fucking at mag ults or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Obviously we won, so no one's using the flame. Oh, that's what I wanted to show off. The Strange ult. Right, so in this situation, he went for Strange ult. I didn't see any teammates I could easily bubble myself, so I bubbled myself to stop myself from getting stunned, and then I was ready to shield off the Strange ult so that, he wouldn't actually have any help in killing my teammates. Yeah, crazy pick for my rocket of all people on their Punisher, then that mag ult unfortunately killed someone. And we support ulted this. I guess not too many of us died. We kind of keep it going. Things are happening. On the whole, we're basically just holding down main, holding the space, poking their backline, doing a million bits of damage, but more importantly, just constantly maximizing my, my abilities. That's the most important part of tanking in general, but especially solo tanking, is maximizing your abilities on Magneto for survival. On other characters, that's also important, right? Maximizing your leaps and your bubbles and stuff on the Hulk to survive. Right, everything like that is super, super important that you live on tank, right, above all else, because people like killing tanks. I actually never realized I was getting shot with a Black Widow here, by the way. I did not know she was behind me in that window area, and crazily enough, I just got healed through it, which is pretty cool. Straight up awful tank play there, to be frank. But yeah, right here got lucky that their mag mistimed the shield, because he would have blocked that. But even if he didn't block that, you notice how I forced the entire team to back up there, and end up making a bunch of space for my team. Like, even a whiff ult can give you a lot of value, and even not getting picks can give you a lot of value. And that's something that's very important to recognize, is that you don't need to get 500 kills to make stuff work, right? A lot of times, this is something I learned in Overwatch, solo ulting, getting a single kill, or a single, team push back, or whatever, with an ult, is oftentimes more valuable than holding it for an extra fight or two, just to try and get a 3k. Especially with Magneto ult, it generally only gets 1 kill. A lot of time it's even worth not even using the Cloak and Dagger ult, because it's really hard to hit that, and oftentimes their Magneto will bubble the Cloak and Dagger. But yeah, just using it afterward. So once the support ult's already out, then people are a lot less on guard. You can just get a free pick. One of my favorite things to do is to use it when they pop an Invisible Woman ult. I pop Magneto ult, and I just fly around in their invis thing, and then kill a random support at the end of it. Because what that does is it guards my team from taking damage, because any projectile fired in my ult, I absorb. And then I just get to kill a support for free at the end of it, and then normally by the end of that, Invisible Woman ult ends. And it's just kind of nasty, the amount of value you can get, just by denying damage, denying space, denying their playmaking ability on tank. Right here, this was a nasty bubble on my Punisher. But yeah, you'll notice we swapped Mop off of DPS. It's because his game was freezing. And then him and May's daddy decided to swap roles because of that. But yeah, let me see this. Not too much to talk about here. And we're just playing good position, right outside that old, pressuring out their Widow, pressuring out their supports. Right there, unfortunately, their Widow got a very nice pick, which snowballed into a lot of picks. We had a very hard time dealing with their initiative defense here. And then their Strange made the smart play that I've been making all game of basically ignoring the tank and going onto the back line, because what the fuck is a Strange or a Magneto gonna do about you walking toward his supports? Pretty much nothing. The best you can do as a tank, if the enemy tank is walking on your backline, is to walk on their backline. Yeah, similar thing there again. I bubble myself and then shield in hopes that I can block off the damage. Unfortunately, I couldn't. A lot of our team died here, so I just started backing up more and more. And eventually, that turned into somehow us reversing it, because we all backed up together. We got a bunch of picks. We got their Strange here really low. I was actually pretty low myself, but I had enough health where I noticed, if I take a little bit too much damage, I have my shield, I have my bubbles, I can get out of there. That's exactly what I did. Yeah, this point didn't go so hot either. We still were having issues with the Black Widow. As Magneto, I really can't help it that much. And then that Moon Knight was really, really good on them. But yeah, pretty shocking turnaround. I don't know what they changed or whatever. We lost our good DPS player. And then Spider-Man opened our team and spawned. It was pretty crazy reversal. I really thought they might reverse this game and turn it back around, but there wasn't much I could do about it. But fortunately, I guess Mop decided, fuck it, bro. The game freeze be damned. Went back on the DPS. And we started turning it around pretty quickly. You can see I obviously noticed Black Widow was putting in crazy work. Even though she's not getting a lot of the finishers, she's basically making everyone one shot. And then she is getting a lot of finishers too, because they have a Mantis on her. Yeah, that right there, what you just watched, was the worst play of this entire game. I vividly remember this. I mean, I did just do this rank up like 5 minutes ago. That play right there was super overextended. I have no idea why I went for that. And even in live time, I recognized that was a mistake. That's something you should be doing in all your games. Don't be like, my team is not doing this and that. Think about what you can do, because realistically, your team's not going to swap or do anything unless they want to. And if they want to, they're just going to fucking do it. Right? But yeah, we got back a good DPS. We like narrowly hold on here. I keep trying the mag ult and failing it. It was actually pretty hard to hit. And yeah, lots of ults, lots of things. Lots of just kind of chilling in main. Grab this health pack because my supports are preoccupied. Play some nice space here. Get a bunch of free picks. And yeah, we won that fight. Right, you'll notice a lot of what I'm doing here on tank. It's not super important, that's why I'm speeding through most of it. But I'm literally just holding main, and if I notice someone overextended or out of position or whatever in a way that I can punish without dying, I go and take advantage. Right? So here, for example, you can see I went super deep to get that support, but it's because I realized, like, no one could save it. Right here, big value right here, got a good bubble on my Storm, and we get to stagger this Mantis like crazy. This, like, stagger might have ironically made the difference for this game. You'll see later, it got really, really close at the end of it. The enemy team really put up a good fight, turned this around very hard. They went for the Black Widow team-up with Hawkeye. Yeah. I definitely make the mistake, something I noticed, because on Hulk, I'm super used to jumping up in the sky and, like, getting their flyers out of the air. I noticed that a lot of the time on Magneto, I find myself looking up like this, when I just shouldn't. This is a big mistake I still made all the way in GM. Shows that you don't need, perfect plays to hit Celestial. You can make a lot of stupid mistakes like that and look around in dumb ways. But yeah, lots of support ults up here right now. Now that they're starting to end, I pop my ult, and even though I whiffed it completely, it still resulted in a free kill. That's what I kind of mean. A lot of time, if you notice, you're just like not hitting the C and D ults or whatever. Rather than go for the C and D ults directly, you can do stuff like that. Where I killed 2 supports basically off that one mag ult. Unfortunately, they popped Storm ult, which is disgusting, and killed the rest of my team. But right here, we had an insane clutch for my team. Just look at how close the cards get here. 0.9 meters, and they clutch up. Bro, I was not alive for this. I was walking back. This guy got stunned and got sustained through that ult. Actually disgusting how much healing you can do with that. But for my POV, I'm just like walking out, and they like barely held it on. My team did a crazy, crazy job holding. This was the deciding fight right here. The fact that we held that was insane. You notice me whiffing a lot of shots on the support that would have died if I didn't whiff all those shots. And yeah, I mean, after that, as the enemy team, you popped 3 ults there, almost like 4 or 5 basically, if you count the fight before. All you got now is your Hawkeye ult, which funnily enough I do die to here. This was my second big blunder of the game. Most of the other times that I died, I don't really think I did too much awful. But in this one, I didn't see the Hawkeye clones, right? Do you see them on your screen? I don't see any right now, and all of a sudden 10 of them popped up and I instantly died. Like, I knew it was active initially, and I was like, oh, it's over now, because they stopped showing up behind me. And that's just like a visual bug or something I got punished for. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, at this point, most of them still died, even then, because they were really focused on taking me out, and my hella popped off and all that. And yeah, that's kind of just the end of the game. Get a random pick on this Moon Knight, just out of the blue. That guy died, and they don't get a touch. And that was my Celestial Ranked Up game. That's kind of all that was going on. You know, post-Celestial Rank Up thoughts, similar to my thoughts in GM. I feel like I've learned a bit more about, you know, team compositions and all of that on my way up. Even though I still don't have a lot of playtime, there's definitely people that know more than me on this type of stuff. I will say, at least in my opinion, there's kind of like rock, paper, scissors of comps that you can have generally. Either you have 3 DPS, 1 tank, and 2 supports. You have 3 supports, 1 tank, 2 DPS, or you have 3 tanks and 3 supports. And they're all kind of like fighting against each other, rock, paper, scissors style. There's also 2-2-2, which kind of just plays neutrally against all 3 of those. You could win or lose just kind of almost at random. It's very comp dependent. But the big 3 of 3 tanks, 3 supports, or 3 DPS is pretty simple, right? 3 tanks, in my opinion, just straight up beats 3 DPS. Then 3 DPS beats 3 supports, and then 3 supports beats 3 tanks. That's kind of like the way the cookie crumbles, at least in my opinion. A lot of the time, a lot of the games that I won was actually 1 tank, 3 DPS, 2 supports. It's not technically the best comp out there. I think the actual best comp is 1 tank, 2 DPS, 3 supports. I think that is actually the strongest one. But on ladder, there's just way more DPS players that are way better at DPS characters. And it's way better to have people play characters that they're familiar with and actually use, rather than force people to, you know, force people to play stuff that they don't play just for team synergy or whatever, because you'll just lose. I mean, to be frank, when someone's just worse at their character than they would be otherwise, but they're still at the same rank, it just doesn't matter. They're going to lose. So it's definitely worth like actually adapting around your teammates and getting a comp that benefits all of you the most, rather than trying to get like an ultra synergy meta comp. It's not that important to have. But yeah, that's that. I'm now Celestial. So, like I said, it took a lot longer than I think the grind from Grandmaster Celestial took me as long as the entirety of, I'd say, about Golds to GM. Like, it is insane the amount of time that it took me. It was because there was just a lot of back and forth. A lot of close games lost, a lot of close games won. A lot of games that came down to someone on either team just getting really tilted, or someone being on Adam Warlock, because Adam Warlock is a pretty much instant lose character 99% of the time. Even in triple support, he feels really, really weak. He's probably the worst hero in the game at the moment, unless I'm forgetting someone, which I don't think I am. Almost every Jeff I saw actually won. Whether to be on my team or the enemy team, it's crazy the amount of value that a good chef can have. Because he's like basically an immortal flanker with self-heal and team heal with a really disgusting ult, if played well, but most people don't play him well. But yeah, with that being said, I'm Celestial. That's the end of my grind. I don't really care to grind to Eternity. I'm perfectly fine having hit Celestial, because what I've realized, especially from being high ranked in Overwatch, is the difference between like a high-ish rank like Celestial and Eternity. 9 times out of 10, it's just raw playtime alone. Obviously, like the top like 50 or so on the top 500 leaderboards are way better than everyone else. But I'd say like the guy at rank 500 versus like some random person in Celestial, the skill difference is almost non-existent. The main difference is just raw hours of time played, and I just don't have that much time anymore, or as much desire to really push beyond this. I feel like I've hit a high rank in this game, and I'm happy to have done so. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm still gonna be doing a Magneto Bronze to GM that will take quite a bit. There'll be a lot of Marvel Royals to watch there if that's what you want to watch. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.